first step is the only decision. Everything after is just walking. Steps under the stars at this particular hour, when the city has put itself to bed and left the streets to whoever needs them more than sleep. I need them more than sleep tonight. I have been indoors all day, with all the indoors things, the screen, the chair, the version of myself that operates inside rooms. Tonight I need the version that moves under the stars. Every step is its own destination, not going toward, not going away from, just going, which is the whole point of a midnight walk, the going without the arriving. Steps under the stars count themselves one by one, without hurry, without destination, just the rhythm of a person moving through the night that belongs to no one. And tonight belongs to me, to my particular footfall on this particular street, under this particular sky. I've done this before, we'll do it again. Each time the same and entirely different. The same street, different thoughts. The same stars, different weight in the shoulders. The same walk, a different person doing it. Under the stars, every step is its own. Steps under the stars count themselves one by one, without hurry, without destination, just the rhythm of a person moving through the night that belongs to no one. And tonight belongs to everything appears to move when you're the one moving. A trick is knowing which is which. Tonight I'm the one moving. Everything else is fixed. The walk begins, the stars attend, the street receives me, and I go. Solitary glow is not loneliness. Let me be clear about that. Loneliness wants company, solitude wants itself. The quiet of a person who has chosen to be with the most reliable person they know, which is themselves at midnight walking. And one of them is this, the midnight walk alone, which is not a consolation, it's a preference. Solitary glow of the urban night walker, one person in a whole lit city, who knows exactly where they are and exactly why. Here, for the particular pleasure of being here, without anyone knowing or asking or needing anything at all. The lamp above me knows what it does. It makes the solitary into something lit from above, more visible to no one, which is the best audience for the best performance, the one you give when no one is watching. I've made better choices than most people think. Solitary glow of the urban night walker, one person in the whole lit city, who knows exactly where they are and exactly why. There's a quality that comes with practice, solitude, a kind of ease that doesn't need to perform itself for anyone, an ease that is simply there, the way a well-made coat is worn, not performing warmth, just being it. I have this ease tonight, walking my usual route in my usual quiet, being the refined version of someone who has learned to be alone. Well, the city glows, I glow, together separately, we choose the arrangement that suits us both. Between the buildings, my voice would travel if I spoke, which I don't. Echoes of the night live in the architecture, the tall buildings keeping the sound of everything that passed between them, in the gaps of their walls, in the seams where concrete meets the dark. I walk through a corridor of them, my footsteps reaching the wall, coming back changed, more presence, less me, more city, less step. Echoes of the night are the city's memory, every conversation held between these buildings, every laugh, every argument, every name called across a street that waited in the air and now moves through me as I walk. by something, a low note into the gap. Between the buildings it goes and comes back 3 times, each time different, each time a little more the building's version than mine. Echoes of the night are the city's memory. I've been thinking about resonance, how the right space adds to a sound without changing it. How a person in the right room becomes more themselves, not less. These buildings are my right room. The night is my right room. The echo is just the room saying yes, yes to this, yes to you, yes to the sound you make when you move through what holds you. The buildings hold me in their acoustic arms, sending back whatever I give them, amplified by their specific walls, their specific stone. The particular history of this particular corridor that has been holding sound since before I walked here will hold it after. My last step echoes 3 times, then quiet, which is also the city saying yes. The alley is narrower than the street, which makes it nor itself. Moonlit alley, the moon finds its way down here too, thinner, more considered, a sliver of silver between the walls that makes the whole alley into a single ray. I walk it slowly, the narrowness requires consideration, step by step. The walls close in without threatening, just specific, precise. This width no wider, no narrower than exactly this. Moonlit alley holds a different light than the boulevard. The moon has to work harder to reach it, which makes the light that arrives more earned, more silver, more specifically here for me. The walls here have their own history, the paint that's peeling in a particular pattern, the pipe that's rusting into a particular shade, the back door of the restaurant with the sound of dishes still going inside. All of it in the silver light, all of it more beautiful for being in a narrow place. The beautiful things fit tighter here. Moonlit Alley holds a different light than the boulevard. The moon has to to the boulevard, not always, but tonight. The alley is intimate, the boulevard is grand, and I need the intimate version of the city tonight. The one that requires my full attention to navigate, that gives it back. Attention for attention, light for light. The alley ends at the next street. The moonlight widens, becomes public again. I look back once at the silver I left behind. The midnight breeze is the city's exhale. Everything it held all day released into whoever's still moving. Midnight breeze at walking speed, the particular combination of movement and air that makes the city feel like it's breathing with me rather than at me. The temperature is exactly right, not cold enough to shorten the walk, not warm enough to make you forget the night's particular freshness, which you shouldn't forget, which is the whole point. The clean, cold clarity of midnight air moving through everything you thought you knew about the weight you've been carrying. Midnight breeze against the face. Midnight breeze in the pace. Cool and clean and smelling of the streets in the dark, and something like beginning. Freshness of a city that has cleaned itself in the evening air and is now offering what's left. I turn into it, a breeze at full face, eyes closed for one step and another, the walk continuing by feel, by the pressure of cool air on closed eyes, which is trust. A particular trust, the walking blind into something you know is clean. Midnight breeze against the face. Midnight breeze in the pace. Cool and clean and smelling of the streets and the dark, and something like beginning. Different from still air. It has a direction, an intention. It's going somewhere, which means it has already been somewhere. And and chose to keep moving. This is the philosophy of the midnight breeze. Keep moving through whatever you've already been through. The cleanness is in the moving, not the stopping. The breeze continues past where I stopped. This means it's been further than I have. Tonight I'll catch up tomorrow. The midnight breeze. At a certain hour, the walk becomes something else. Less a walk, more adrift through what the night has become. And the body's tired, attentive, dreaming. Walking in dreams is the name for it, when the familiar street becomes almost familiar. When the lamp you've passed 100 times seems to ask something. When the distance between the steps stretches slightly more than usual, and the city floats rather than stands. I am still awake. This is not sleep. This is the state between the body moving through the night, the mind already somewhere softer, somewhere without edges, where the lamp is a suggestion and the street a feeling. Walking in dreams with the waking body. Walking in dreams with the sleeping mind. The city half real, half remembered. The walk half chosen, half arrived. Somewhere between the going and the having gone, which is the best place to be. Without my help, they have done this. Without my asking, which frees the rest of me to drift upward into the particular warm dark of a mind that is almost done for the day, and walking anyway on purpose just to feel this. Walking in dreams with the waking body. Walking in dreams with the sleeping mind. The dream and the walk are the same thing now, both moving through darkness, both arriving somewhere by means of the next step. Both trusting the route without knowing the destination. I walk in what the night has become. Something soft, something mine, something almost a dream, almost home. The streetlight puts me ahead of myself. My shadow is always where I'm going before I get there. Streetlight silhouette, the dark version of me, longer, less certain of the edges, more willing to extend in any direction. The shadow gives me a version I couldn't plan. The me that goes before, that tests the ground, that arrives first and waits. I watch it move, my shadow, doing exactly what I do, but upside down in meaning. Where I'm coming from, it's going to where I'm going. It has been. Streetlight silhouette in the gap between two lamps, my shadow and I, brief strangers who share the same exact body at exactly the same time, but different directions, different darks, different versions of the same walk. The shadow grows as I approach the lamp, stretches ahead as if in anticipation. Then at the lamp itself disappears into my feet for 1 second. I have no shadow, which is the rarest condition. Then the next lamp, the shadow begins behind me now, catching up, lengthening into the me I've already passed through. The architecture of a single walk made visible. Streetlight silhouette in the gap between two lamps, my shadow and I, brief strangers who share the same exact body. We just move together through the lamb's particular consideration of who I am from above, which is a different person than I usually consider. Longer, more committed to direction. A next lamp, the shadow flips. I keep walking in both directions at once. The wanderer has no route. The wanderer has every route, which is the same thing, said differently. Cozymoon Wanderer, the name for someone who walks for the walking, not the arriving, who turns left for the beauty of the turn, who goes right because right felt right. Who doubles back without regret, because the street was different. The second time through, this is the walk I know, not efficient, not purposeful, just present, curious, in love with the next corner, whatever it shows. Wandering through the city with no reason but this, the particular jazz of an unplanned route. The next street, a new key, the next lamp, a new note. The wanderer improvising through a city that is also improvising through a night, both making it up, both doing it well. Cities I didn't know, the not knowing was the gift. Every corner a surprise, every lamp a first lamp, every street a first street. The freshness of not having been here before, which you can get back even in your own city if you turn enough times. Wandering through the city with no reason but this, the particular jazz of an unplanned city as I find it, street by street, lamp by lamp, quarter by quarter, building a route from the walking rather than walking a route someone built, which is the whole difference. The same city, one discovering it, one passing through. One bit to the next block and the next, and eventually the walk has a pulse, the pulse has a walk. Which one is leading is not important. A quiet pulse, the percussion section of the interior that you carry into every city at every hour. 60 beats per minute or thereabouts, the bass line below everything. The rhythm that was there before the music and will be there after. Tonight I feel it clearly, the particular synchrony of walking in heartbeat, a step in the beat, not matching exactly but in conversation. The step a little slower, the heart a little faster, the two negotiating a shared tempo between them, which becomes the walk's true pace. Quiet pulse under the midnight city, quiet pulse in every step I take. The body keeping time without being asked, the oldest rhythm in the world, the one that started before I learned to count, and will end after I've forgotten how. The pulse knows things I don't, when the body is tired, when to slow, when something ahead has changed the air pressure before the mind has processed what changed. I trust it tonight, the quiet pulse, more than the map, more than the plan, more than the version of myself that thinks it knows where it's going. Quiet pulse under the midnight city, quiet pulse in every step I take. Just the pulse, just the step, just the night, just the walk that is The city lights are behind me now, with dreams I am ahead of them for once. City lights far away look different from in them. From inside they are specific. A lamp, a sign, a window, from here they are. A general warmth, the soft aggregate of 1,000 small fires that add up to something that looks like a city breathing light. I had been inside that warmth all day, making my particular contribution to the sum of it. Tonight I needed the outside view, the warmth from a distance, where it looks like what it is, a living thing made of light. City lights far away are more beautiful than city lights up close. The distance gives them what proximity takes away. The shape of the whole, the breathing of it, the particular grace of something vast, seen from far enough away to understand its size. I'd walked until the city is an arrangement of amber points against the dark, each one a person or a lamp or an empty room with a light left on for someone who hasn't arrived yet. I sense something toward the lights, goodwill or just attention. The city doesn't receive it, doesn't need to. The sending is enough. City lights far away are more beautiful than city lights up close. sake of the whole night, me arc of the lit city, the dark at the edges, the particular gradient between the two, which is where I am, in the gradient, far enough for perspective, close enough to return. The light's still there, I turn back toward them, which is the hope, going far enough to understand what you're returning to. Pavement tonight has a quality not concrete, something closer to velvet under the feet that have been walking long enough. Velvet pavement is what happens when the walk has been going long enough for the ground to start cooperating. Less resistance, more receive. The particular softness of a city surface that has been walked so many times by so many feet that it has learned to give a little under pressure. I feel it now, the give of it, the slight yield, the pavement returning something to the foot at the foot gave to it weight, and in return a little comfort. Velvet pavement under the midnight walk, velvet pavement soft below the dark. The city has been walked so many times, it knows how to receive a footstep the way a good chair receives a body, without protest, without question, just here under you, exactly right. I slow down to feel it more, the velvet quality of old pavement under tired feet is a specific gift. The city saying, I've got you, in the only language it has under your feet right now. The solid, reliable weight bearer yielding just enough foundation of this particular walk. Velvet pavement under the midnight walk, velvet pavement soft below the dark. The familiar street has a texture you only notice at this pace, slow enough to feel through the soul of whatever you're wearing. The history of the surface, all the feet before, all the weather that shaped it into exactly this. The velvet under yours, the pavement still velvet, still here under every step to come. This one is for the ones who are still out here at this hour. Night owl song for the one behind the counter of the 24-hour place who pours coffee for whoever arrives without judgment. Just the cup, the warmth, the particular kindness of someone who chose the night shift, which is a calling I respect. For the one reading in the cafe corner, 3 hours past closing on the reading night, with the glasses pushed up and the book at arm's length. For the ones walking like me who needed the outside of the night more than the inside of the bed. Night owl song is for the ones who know the city in this particular way, not as a place you pass through, but as a place that holds you when you need holding in the specific dark of 2 a.m., which has its own particular warmth for those who know to look for it. We are a small community for night walkers, the insomniacs by choice, the workers of the hidden hours, the readers of the very late pages. We don't acknowledge each other much, the nod at the crosswalk, the brief almost smile of 2 people who recognize the particular state of being awake when the city has given everyone else permission to stop. Night owl song is for the ones who know the city in this particular way. The city belongs to the many during the day. At this hour it belongs to the few, and the few know what to do with it. Cherish it, walk it, stay in it a little longer than necessary, which is always exactly as long as needed. Song for you, night walkers, still here, still moving, still awake, which is enough to make the night worth it. The shadow is not following, the shadow is leading tonight. I am following my shadow. Shadow dance, what happens when the walk has gone long enough for the body to stop being a body and become a rhythm. The shadow moves first, a half beat ahead, then the rest of me follows, which makes the walk into a dance. The shadow leading me, following providing the stage. Shadow dance on the empty street. Shadow dance under the lamp's beat. Every step a note, every turn a phrase. The city, the stage, the night, the music, and me just following the shadow that knows the steps better than I do. The rhythm comes from the pavement, regular, reliable. The bass line of the walk that the piano has been following all along. I find it, the precise spot where step and music agree, where body and night keep the same time, where the shadow and I are finally in sync. Shadow dance on the empty street. Shadow dance under the lamp's beat. Every step a note, every turn a phrase. The city, the stage, the night, the music. The piano knows what the body knows before the mind does, where the beat falls, where the next step lands, where the shadow will be by the time I get there. Which is why I follow the shadow. It's already living in the music. The rest of me just catching up. The dance continues into the next lamp and the next. The shadow leaving me behind, both of us right on time. Every walk has a point where it's done, not by plan, not by distance, but by the particular feeling of having arrived at the furthest point from everything you were carrying. The end of the road is not a dead end. It's the place where the walk gives you back to yourself. The place where the rhythm stops asking and starts returning. I've reached it now, the particular bench at the end of the particular path that I always reach when the walk has been long enough to do its work. The city is behind me, the dark is in front, and I am in between the arrived person, the person who went far enough to find the quiet that was waiting here. At the end of the road that was always the destination, even when I didn't know it. The end of the road beginning of another, which is tonight specifically this. I sit not for long, just long enough to feel the walk complete itself, and the body, the way the phrase completes itself in music, not ending, just resolving into the next thing. The end of the road is where the walk becomes the rest. The furthest point of the midnight walk is the quietest, no more deciding which way, no more navigation, just the sitting at the end of all that moving, which makes the sitting feel like the most earned theme of the whole night. I sit with the achieved quiet, the walk complete behind me, the way home in front, both of them still here. The moon has been with me all night and is still with me now, walking home. Homebound moonlight, the light that walks you back from wherever the midnight walk took you, the same light that was there at the beginning, still there at the end. The streets look different going home, the same streets but reversed, the familiar scene from the familiar direction that says you are now on the side of home, which is the softer side of everything. I count what the walk gave, the stars at the beginning, the alley's silver, the breeze's cleanness, the echo in the corridor, the shadow that led, the pulse that studied, the light seen from far, the community of the awake, the dance at the lamp, the quiet at the end, the road, all of it in the pockets of whoever is walking home now, lighter than they left. Homebound moonlight on the final street, homebound moonlight, almost complete. The walk has done its work, the night has given everything it had. The moonlight leads me home without being asked, which is the definition of a good guide, present, unhurried, already knowing the way. that the midnight needed to make real. Homebound moonlight on the final street. Homebound moonlight, almost complete. From the first steps under the stars to the solitary glow, from the echoing corridor to the moonlit alley, from the midnight breeze to the dreaming lock, from the shadows' dialogue to the wanderer's jazz, from the pulse to the distant lights, from the velvet pavement to the night owl's song, from the shadow dance to the end of the road, to this the moonlight walking me home. The same moon that was there when I started, still here, still mine. Adore the key, the warmth inside, the walk complete, and the moon still out there, keeping the night for whoever goes next. Sleep well, midnight walker. The night is yours at all.